KC9FJ.
Welcome to the Monday night Raspberry Pi D-Star Net. I am Wayne, Alpha Bravo 9 Foxtrot Juliet, your net control station this week. This net may be interrupted at any time for priority or emergency traffic. I will pause now to allow stations to disconnect from the reflector if they do not want to stay for the net. This net combines two hobbies, ham radio D-Star and microcomputers. By microcomputers, I'm talking about the various flavors of raspberries and oranges and, gosh, whatever else fruits are out there now. Basically, systems on a chip, small, general-purpose computers, not necessarily controllers like an Arduino. So, let's see here. If you have questions, we'll try to find answers for you. If you've, accomplished something cool, feel free to brag about it. And if you've heard some interesting news, share it with us. This net usually runs for about an hour. We start with an open mic for anyone who has a question or an announcement. And after that, we open the floor to just general check-ins and socializing. Does anyone have a question or a comment or news to share? Please give your call and wait to be acknowledged. Whoa, the silence is deafening. I don't know, have I made a mistake here? Am I on the right reflector? Could somebody just give me a quick confirmation that I'm in the right place at the right time?
Yes, Wayne, you are. KC9SIO. KC-YQL also confirmed you're sounding good, Wayne, and I also have an announcement for the net tonight.
Oh, wait, now I see a few call signs there. I see K2ILH and KC8YQL. So let's start with Bill there. K2ILH. Go ahead. Okay, well, maybe he's not ready. So let's go to KC8YQL. Bill.
Okay, Wayne, well, good evening, sir, to you and all of that. And, of course, as always, I want to thank you, all your net controllers, for hosting this net for us tonight. We really appreciate you being there, Wayne. Good to hear my friend Steve in there, too. I was kind of surprised. I went out late tonight. I had another ham stop by here, and he brought me a couple of these little mini micro dual band mobile radios to program. Of course, you know where all them was made at, so a little bit challenging programming those radios, but we got him up and going in pretty good shape. And I went out and got my mail kind of rather late this evening, and I pulled a Dayton Hamvention flyer out of the mailbox. So pretty pumped up, pretty excited about the new location of Hamvention this year. And I sure hope I meet some of you guys there. I'm pretty sure K9QZI and Milt will show up. I don't know if Steve's going to come with him or not. Or I don't know, Wayne, if you attend there, but maybe some of the folks checking in the Raspberry Pi Net could make a comment whether they think they're going to make Dayton Hamvention this year. We'd love to see all of you guys. And I'll turn it back to you, Wayne, and be listening out from KC8YQL.
Okay, thank you, Bill. I have not finalized my plans yet, but I hope that I will be there. Let's see, K2ILH. Did you have a question or a comment?
Good evening, fellas. I just checked to see if I was still connected here. Sorry for the interruption. K2ILH.
Okay, no problem. I just saw you in my log here, and I thought that maybe you had something to say. So, like I said, no problem. We're still looking for anyone else who has a question or an announcement or, some kind of show and tell for the net tonight.
Kilo Delta 9, Charlie Whiskey Sierra.
Okay, there we have somebody there, KD9 CWS. Steve, I think. Go ahead.
Thank you, Wayne, and good evening, everyone on the net. My name is Steve. I'm in Waukegan, Illinois, north of Chicago, and I'm coming into the 38 Charlie reflector using my thumb DV on my laptop computer. I'm pretty new to Pi, and I'm pretty new to this net, and I want to first of all thank everybody for running this net and participating. It's certainly one of the more worthwhile hours of my week, anyhow. I don't really have a specific question, but rather a general comment and a general question. I have a Pi 3, and I was running FL Digi software on it, and it was consuming about 25% of the CPU capacity. So after a bit, the Pi got a tad toasty. So now I'm thinking more about running APRS on it, and I've got Dire Wolf and Zaster all set up and working pretty nice. And my general question, because for me it's too late at night to get into heavy specifics, but with the maps on Zaster, there seems to be more than one way of going about it. And being kind of a newbie, I was hoping somebody could point me to the easier way of going about it. And with that, I'll say thanks again, and back to net control.
Steve, I got a little lost in your question there. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. Could you kind of rephrase your question?
Sure thing, Wayne. I guess I kind of rambled on a little bit there. My question specifically is getting maps into Zaster for APRS. I know that you can get them from OpenStreetMaps and other sources. I'm a little bit new at this and was hoping for general suggestions. Thank you, Wayne.
Okay. Sorry, I was thinking that you were asking about heat issues. So, okay. And I just have a quick question. Are you on the Zaster mailing list?
Yes, I am. And I started my ramble talking about heat when I was I installed FL Digi software, and it was a little bit demanding for the Pi 3. And so now I'm looking at more repurposing my Pi 3 towards APRS. That's how I got on the E part. Sorry for rambling, and back to you, Wayne.
Okay. The reason I ask about the mailing list is I think that your chances of finding somebody who can give you some good information about maps for Xaster will probably come from that mailing list. But the question is perfectly welcome here on this net. So now I will step back and see if anyone has some suggestions for you. What we're looking for is maps for the Xaster APRS client running on a Raspberry Pi 3. Just out of curiosity, do we have anyone on the net here who runs Xaster on a Raspberry Pi? Well, I wonder, is this a holiday or something? Maybe we're going to have a short net tonight. Well, Steve, sorry that we don't have a volunteer with an answer for you there. So I would suggest either, going and looking at the archives of the Xaster mailing list, or posting a new query on the list. So I'll pass it back to you if you have any final comments, AB9FJ.
Thanks, Wayne. Yeah, that's a good idea, and I should spend some more time there. So thanks again, and this is KD9CWS and VacConnect Control 7-3 everyone, and I'll be here listening out.
Just parenthetically, I'm a subscriber to the Xaster mailing list, and even though I don't actually run Xaster myself, I'm interested in it. So I occasionally read the message traffic, and this issue has come up in the past many times. It's a perennial issue because everybody wants maps for Xaster. So good luck. Hope you find a solution for your needs there. So, we're still at the beginning phase of the net where we're inviting questions or announcements. If you have something to, ask about or something to announce or something to brag about, please come now with your call sign and wait for acknowledgement.
AC7D.
AC7DS with a question and an announcement.
Okay, I have a couple of call signs there, starting with W4LKS.
Oh, hi, Wayne. Yeah, I tried again last round to give some information about Xaster maps, but I had the wrong settings on my radio, unfortunately. Anyway, yeah, I've run into that as well, and you have to fumble around, and then once you tell it to download maps, it seems like it takes forever, and it seems like I remember I asked it to do that, and then I went away and came back later, and it was there, so it does it silently back in the background. If you're looking for a map-oriented APRS program, I would try YAAC, yet another APRS client. It's a really good map-oriented APRS program. It's all written in not Python, but another interpreted language that allows it to run on just about any platform. So, and it works really good. It has modern user interface. Xaster's kind of old, but and it has great maps. If
including OpenStreetMaps. Anyway, there's just a little info from Randy for your Raspberry Pi and APRS. W4LKS, back to you, Wayne.
Randy, do you have a pointer to a website, like yaac.com or org, or is it at GitHub? Do you have any pointers?
Yeah, the guy's call sign is website, and it's just easier to Google for YAAC, and it will be the very first one. It's KA2DDO's homepage. Yeah, so I have tried it, and it works pretty well, although it's putting the Raspberry Pi to a lot of use, so it goes a little bit slower on your Raspberry Pi than it does on your desktop, but this is a really well thought out APRS client. And it can be a digipeater and an iGate as well. Back to you, Wayne.
Okay, thank you, Randy. Sounds like a regular Swiss Army knife of a program there. We also have Alpha Charlie 7 Delta Sierra. Dave, go ahead.
Well, good morning. The announcement that I have is I'd like everybody to come join us for the Reflector 9 Charlie Arizona D-Star Net every Saturday night for Reflector 9 Charlie at 0200 UTC, which works out to be 1900 local time here, but 0200 UTC. And I have a question for anybody that can work well with D-Star Commander running on a Raspberry Pi 2, I think it is. It's Raspberry Pi 2. And what I'm having trouble with is I can't get it to connect to my phone. I can get everything else on the planet to connect to my phone's Wi-Fi, but I can't get the Raspberry Pi to connect to my phone. So if you could find somebody who knows about that kind of stuff, I would greatly appreciate it. Back to that, AAC7DS.
Okay, well, I have a suggestion for you. Your phone's SSID, does it contain anything other than alphanumeric characters? Does it contain any punctuation? Does it contain any spaces? Anything like that?
No. I made it something extremely simple. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. I could go look, but I made it extremely simple, one word. I think it's all caps. And yeah, it's Galaxy. I made it Galaxy. I took all the numbers out, I took all the spaces out, and just made it Galaxy with all caps.
N0WIQ AF5JH.
Okay, I see about 3 call signs there. Let's start with, I'll enumerate them. KF4DLK and 0WIQ and AF5JH. So, let's start with KF4DLK. DLK, all I got here was some R2D2. Try again, please. KS4 DLK. I did not copy your transmission. Would you try again? Okay, well, we'll come back later. Let's move along to N0WIQ.
This is N0WIQ, and I use a Raspberry DD Mega, and it was sent by D-Star. Oh, I've forgotten now what I was going to say. There's a D-Star thing out there to fix the Raspberry Pi. Yeah. Raspberry Pi. Go back to that.
Okay, thank you. But I think the question on the table right now is what other issues might you run into trying to access Wi-Fi on a smartphone from the Raspberry Pi? And we've already covered the issue of punctuation and spaces and so forth. So we have a very simple SSID. Is there any other reason why I think it's David would have problems connecting his Raspberry Pi to his smartphone's Wi-Fi? I have next on my list here Alpha Foxtrot 5 Juliet Hotel. Go ahead.
And now I remember N0WIQ, this D-Star Commander is used to set for the Raspberry Pi.
Okay, I did not copy all of that. Perhaps somebody else heard it a little bit better than me. Could someone chime in? Okay, well, I'm sorry, N0WIQ. I was not able to completely copy your transmission there. Perhaps if you want to try again.
Okay, this is N0WIQ, and I was suggesting D-Star Commander to set up the SSID for a Raspberry Pi.
Well, okay, I think David is running D-Star Commander on his Raspberry Pi, and he's trying to use his cell phone to provide internet access over Wi-Fi, and he cannot get his Raspberry Pi to connect successfully to the Wi-Fi on his smartphone. Do you have a suggestion that would help him with that?
A0RX has helped me a lot, and he's the one that set up one of my Raspberry Pi DD Mega hotspots, so that's what I'm saying, and I don't know how to hook it up to a cell phone, but
N0WIQ.
Okay, well, thank you for trying to help. Let me see if AC7DS, Dave, do you have anything to say or to ask?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what's the issue. It has It just won't connect. It does everything else fine. It connects to the Wi-Fi at the house here, which is more complicated than what I have on the phone, but it will connect to the Wi-Fi at the house because that's what I'm using right now. But it will not connect to my phone. And I've tried going through the settings file and changing everything that I can think of changing in the settings file that would make it do something, and I still cannot get it to connect to the phone. So I'm stumped. Quick comment.
KB1PVH.
WD9GYM.
WA6P.
Did you get my question? I was asking, have you confirmed that your smartphone is in fact operating as a hotspot? And demonstrating that by using it with a laptop or some other Wi-Fi client going through the phone.
Yes, I have connected my laptop. I have connected other phones to it. I have connected, what else did I connect? Mostly my laptop. I just can't get the Raspberry Pi to connect to it. Quick comment.
Okay, we'll come back to AF5JH a little later. I see 3 new call signs showing up in the log here. KB1PDH, WD9GYM, and WA6PX. So let's start with KB1PVH. I think that's Dave in Massachusetts.
Is he using the automated setup script, or is he logging into the Pi through VNC or SSH or whatever, and manually using the Wi-Fi setup on the Pi?
Okay, I'm going to let the 2 Daves talk to each other there. AC7 DS, is that right there? Yes, and KB1 PDH. You guys go ahead and take the reflector here and turn it back to me when you're finished.
All right, well, thanks for doing that. And to Dave, what I'm doing is, I'm not sure what setup script you're talking about, but I'm running Linux. I'm not logging in. I'm not trying to get into the Raspberry Pi. I physically take the SD card out, put it in my laptop, and go in and edit the configuration file. And you go down where it starts into the Wi-Fi, and I've got everything set up that I think I should, but it's still not connecting, and I don't know why. Go ahead.
AF5.
Okay, I have not had good luck using the that setup script for D-Star Commander, where you pop it in your Windows laptop and run the script, and it asks you all the questions and you answer it. I never had good luck with that working with with my Wi-Fi. I've always used VNC and
KE0KJM.
PVH, we kind of lost you there. You kind of got cut off. Try again, please. Okay, I think that Dave in Massachusetts might have had a battery problem there. We will listen for him to return, but I have a couple of other call signs queued up here, so let me move along to Whiskey Delta 9 Golf Yankee Mike. I think that's Jim. Go ahead. Oh, no, that's, I'm not sure what the first name is there, but GYM. Go ahead.
This is Whiskey Delta 9 Golf Yankee Mike, Marty in Skokie, Illinois. Dave, I would try two things. One is just get the Pi operating by itself with Wi-Fi, just using the browser in your Pi image there. And second is it possible that the hardware Wi-Fi adapter that you're plugging into the Pi is not covered by the phone? Maybe the phone covers just AC or just G or DG, and the adapter's not one of those types of protocols. That was my suggestion. WD92, I'm back to the net.
Okay, Dave, do you want to comment or reply to that?
Yeah, I'd like to question that, because that was something I hadn't thought about. Now, as far as it working, it connects fine to my home Wi-Fi. It connects fine to other Wi-Fi if I go in there and reconfigure the configuration file. What about it wouldn't be compatible with my phone? I guess would be the question that I'd have at that point.
K9QZI.
Maybe the card is V and or the adapter on your Pi is V, and the phone might only cover G or AC or because it's more modern than the adapter that you're using. I had that on a couple of Wi-Fi type dongles that I used as Ethernet adapters for devices that didn't have Wi-Fi on them. I'm sure you've seen those kinds of things before. So, but I had some that were a lower protocol than what my router was running.
Okay, well that's potentially a good point there. David, is the dongle, the Wi-Fi dongle that you're using on the Raspberry Pi, is it a pretty recent product, or is it something that you took out of your junk box from 10 years ago?
Well, that's a good question. I bought the Raspberry Pi and this Wi-Fi dongle together, but I don't remember when I bought the Raspberry Pi. I know it's been probably 5 years since I bought the dongle. It's been a while, so that might be a potential problem.
K9QZI.
K9QZI, go ahead.
Yeah, one quick question to the station that's having the trouble. What phone are you using, an iPhone, and what service are you on? I just need those two answers, and then I either will have something else or not.
I'm using a Galaxy S7 Active, and I forgot the other question, but it's a Galaxy S7 Active.
Okay, so that does it. That's I'm back out of it. I have a similar problem with an iPhone, but it's unique to the iPhone. So Anyway, go ahead, Wayne, and I just wanted to, I thought I'd pass that along if that would help, but sounds like it won't. K9QZI, I'm back out again. Go ahead, Wayne.
KE1PVH. W5IEM.
I don't know. I think I might have doubled with somebody there. So before moving along to Jim, WA6PX, I wanted to give Marty, WD9GYM, a chance if he had a comment or something to add to the discussion.
Not really. It's just maybe that the phone is setting up the Type N connection and the dongle down at B, that type of thing. That's about it. WD9GY, I'm clear.
Okay, thank you, Marty. Next we have WA6PX. Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, WA6PX. That was a false alarm. I had to grab the mic and I accidentally keyed it. I apologize.
Guys, that happens to all of us at one time or another. I have another call sign here. I think I'm not having trouble reading my own writing. I think it's Kilo Echo Zero, Kilo Juliet Mike.
W5IEM.
What was happening, and I'm kind of caught off guard here.
KJM, stand by for a moment. W5IEM, are you trying to break in with something sort of urgent?
No, I just had a suggestion. I was trying to get in the queue there.
Okay. Going back to KJM, I did not catch your name there, but we only caught about the last half of your transmission, so would you say again, please?
Yes, the name is Sam, KE0KJM. Yeah, I just kind of got in a few minutes ago in the middle of everything and not sure really what the line of conversation is, so got caught off guard just a little bit here.
Okay, well, we've had a couple of questions so far. One of them was about finding downloadable maps for the Zaster APRS client. And then we also had a question about the Raspberry Pi, I think it was the version 3, connecting by Wi-Fi to a particular cell phone, a Galaxy cell phone. So if you have any ideas about those two topics, we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, on linking to the phone, I actually use a Raspberry Pi 3 with a DV4 mini dongle, and right now I'm just on my home Wi-Fi, but occasionally I'm in my car, and I link in through my Motorola phone and with a hotspot, and it works just great. I don't know if you're specifically looking at the Galaxy, but I know my Motorola, which is an Android device like the Galaxy, it works flawlessly. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Let's see. I think I've addressed everything. Is there anybody who has dropped their call in here and not been acknowledged by me?
W7SSK.
Okay, I see W7SSK. Don, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Wayne. Just wanted to remind everybody that V-Star Commander does not recognize anything other than alphanumeric characters in the SSID. If you have a dash or other non-letter or number character in the SSID, it will not connect. I've watched that one for a long time. W7SSK.
Okay, thank you, Don. Yeah, that was one of the things that Dave, I guess, he had heard about, and so he has simplified his SSID to very simple. It's just a simple word, all alphas. So we're still looking for what might be the issue for him. So if anyone else has any ideas about why Dave, with his Raspberry Pi, I think it's a version of Model 3, running V-Star Commander, and he's trying to use his Galaxy cell phone as his Wi-Fi hotspot. But he can connect to other Wi-Fi hotspots, such as the router in his home, and he can connect his laptop to the phone just fine. So why is it that the Raspberry Pi and the phone won't talk?
W7VFQ, Jim.
Okay, first we have, I see two call signs here. One of them is PDH, Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
W7VFQ.
Okay, that was kind of weird. Dave, KB1 PVH, got about half a minute of silence there. You were registering on my log and on my radio, but I was not hearing any audio. And I think WA7VFQ might have been in there. Well, no, that's interesting. The first time WA7VFQ, Jim, keyed up, it said WA7VFQ/JIM. But just now it shows up as WA7VFQ/RSNC. And unless Jim changed his message, I think there must be some kind of error indication or something there. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So anyway, let's go back to Dave, KB1 PVH, and let you try again whatever you said just a minute ago.
Okay, whoa, here we go. For some reason my mic gain got turned down on my 9100. Okay, there we go, we're having problems with the mic gain knob. What I said was, I've never had good luck using the automated script on V-Star Commander to set up the Wi-Fi. I've always just logged into the Pi remotely or hooked it up to a monitor and used the Wi-Fi setup on the Pi itself to scan the networks, and then I would click on my phone, put the password in, and I was good to go after that. But I never had good luck using the automated script for the Wi-Fi.
Okay, Okay, thank you, Dave. Let's see if the other Dave, AC7DS, wants to comment.
I'm just sitting here taking notes. There's a lot of good stuff. I think I'm going to try the adapter first because that, I don't know how old this thing is. I don't know how old it was when I got it. And that might be a good thing to start with, but I'm just taking notes. We're starting to get into some really good stuff, so I'm writing it down so I can keep track of it. Back to that.
W5IEM.
W5IEM.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Victor Foxtrot, Quebec.
Yeah, W7VFQ, are you calling?
Oh, yes. Did you have something for the net?
Yeah, I had plugged in my remote mic for my Kenwood, and when that guy came on, he actually did have volume, but I thought maybe I had inadvertently plugged my mic in wrong. But I did hear him, but barely. So it was an inadvertent key up. But I did have another question, and I guess that needs to go back to the basis, square one. Does he have his telephone set to tethering? That would be the question.
Yes, that's what I thought. So I asked him if he had succeeded in using his phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot for some other device, such as a laptop. And he reported that, yes, he had successfully done that. So it's looking like the phone is, in fact, in tethering mode. And he's also tried his Raspberry Pi connecting with other Wi-Fi hotspots, such as his home router. So we know that the two devices have demonstrated proper functioning, but not with each other.
Okay. I just got on. But I did want to check on one other thing then. So can he change the name of the phone? Because as simple as it is, the best, because it won't handle any dashes or any long weird stuff. I forgot exactly. There is a link, I think, that you have to deal with, but just like Don's phone is good enough for its name, and then for the SSID. So the simple as you can go. That's all I have on my phone. It's Jim's iPhone 7 Plus, and I didn't have a plus on it. I have the word PLUS. So that's not that's just the name I have on it, and mine works just fine. And I also have a Android phone. When I set it to tethering, I changed the name on it to a very simple name, and it also works. So that could be the issue, WA7VFQ.
Yes, and I think he said that his SSN is the word Galaxy in all caps. But, what you say there does suggest something to me. Is it possible that when you set the SSID to be Galaxy that you might have had a trailing space in there? I know this is scraping the bottom of the barrel, really wild shot, something there, but yeah, just go in and just retype it. Go in and go to the password section on the phone configuration and just type it in again and make sure that you don't accidentally add a space. Like I said, it's grasping at straws, though. Over to Dave there, see if he wants to say something.
I hadn't actually checked that, so that's something else that I can check. That's something I can check fairly quickly, is check for any trailing spaces. I don't think so, but I'm not going to guarantee that, so that is something else that I'm going to check on.
Yeah, I'm not holding out a lot of hope that is the answer, but it's one more thing to eliminate. So, let's see, I think I've caught up. Oh, no, wait, there's another call sign that popped up there. Kilo Mike 4, Sierra Tango Lima. Go ahead.
W7EFS.
KA4 STL, Kilo Mike 4 STL. I think that's Ed in Alabama.
W7EFS.
Okay, well, I'm not connecting there, I guess, with KM4 STL, but I see W7 Echo Foxtrot Sierra. I think that's Tony. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Wayne, and good evening all. Yeah, I've been listening. I think I caught the original problem there, and I was hoping somebody else would touch on that. But Dave, if I may have your attention for a moment, please. W7EFS.
I'm going to pass the net to Tony and Dave. I need to run down the hall, so I'll be back in a minute. 89FJ.
You have my ear.
All right. Now, on your Pi, are you looking at a file called Etsy WPA_supplicant and then WPA_supplicant.conf, please?
No, I'm not. I'm looking at a file that, I forget what it's called, but it ends in config. Charlie Oscar, November, Foxtrot, India Golf.
All right, I'm not familiar with that. So, anyway, if you would please look at Etsy WPA_supplicant, WPA_supplicant.conf, please.
Well, I can't look at it right now, or I have to drop off the net because I'm using the Raspberry Pi to get into the net. But I'm going to write this down, so I will check it later. What am I looking for?
Well, I'm looking at my Pi, and I'm talking with an ID51A into the Raspberry Pi 2, so I don't know what the issue is here. What you want to look at is on your wireless config, I don't know how many you have, 1, 2, or 3, but look at the proto and the pairwise names. And the proto should be Romeo Sierra November, unless you know specifically otherwise. And the pairwise equals Charlie, Charlie, Michael, Papa, unless you know otherwise. I assist many people with this stuff, and I have seen people put in WPA -2 or whatever, and that's wrong. So this sounds like the nature of the problem right there, is the proto and the pairwise. And unless you know specifically otherwise, the proto equals uppercase Romeo Sierra November, and the pairwise equals Charlie Charlie Michael Papa.
And this is in a file called X-Ray Charlie Papa underscore, what was the rest of that?
Well, I'll spell it out phonetically because it's obvious you're not familiar with the Linux file system. / Echo Tango Charlie / Whiskey Papa Alpha underscore supplicant spelled Sierra Union Papa Papa Lima India Charlie Alpha November Tango / WPA underscore supplicant dot Charlie Oscar November Foxtrot.
No, I've never played with that particular file. Can you, I got the etc. WPA. This is on the Pi, correct?
That is correct. That's what we're talking about.
AB9FJ here. I wonder, would it be expeditious if Dave could give his email address to Tony and let Tony email the file name?
If you'd like, and you've got your DRAS up, you could DRAS it to me.
W7EFS standing by for email.
It is radiodatonator at gmail.com. I spell radio, common spelling, dad, common spelling, Echo, November, Alpha, Tango, Oscar, Romeo at gmail.com.
Well, I didn't copy that. My call sign is Whiskey 7 Echo Foxtrot Sierra and CenturyLink.net, please. Go ahead and send me something and I'll respond. And I'll point out the file name and what to look for there. And this is, what was your operating system again? You are using a D-Star hotspot, and was this a D-Star Commander? Did I get that correctly?
That is correct. It's D-Star Commander 2, version 2, running on a Raspberry Pi 2. I think it's a 2B, or Raspberry Pi 2. With whatever Raspberry it comes with D-Star Commander.
Okay, just shoot me a quick email, please, and I'll respond with the file name and what those two parameters should be. W7EFS, thank you, and thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Dave.
Dave, did you copy Tony's email address?
Whiskey 7 Echo Foxtrot Sierra at CenturyLink.com.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Century, like 100 years, and link, like, you know, a chain, links in a chain, LINK. So, .com, is that, I'm assuming it's .com. Okay, well, I think I've caught up on transmissions here. Is there anyone who has tried to join the conversation and not been acknowledged?
W7EFS with a correction, which didn't get acknowledged.
Go ahead, Tony.
A,
CenturyLink.net. Thank you. W7EFS.
W4,
Okay, thank you for the correction, Tony. And I see W4LKS. Go ahead.
It seems like we sure spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to connect people's Raspberry Pi Wi-Fi to their phones on this net. It seems like it's almost a subject for a whole other net. And we get all twisted around the ankle, all the way around the axles and everything. So, a couple things come to mind. Make sure your phone is not set to 5 gigahertz band because your Raspberry Pi cannot do 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. And your Galaxy S7 can. So it should be set to 4 gigahertz or dual band. Another thing that I do is use a program called Acrylic Wi-Fi. It's a Windows program, so you install it on your Windows laptop. Dave said he had one. And it gives you a whole view of all of the Wi-Fi spectrum around your house, so you can see exactly where your phone is advertising connections. Anyway, a couple other things there. Back to you, Wayne, W4LKS.
W7VFQ. Comment.
Stand by for a moment here. I'm having some technical difficulties. Maybe not up to. This is 89FJ. Something weird is going on here. Our local repeater here got disconnected from the reflector, and it took me a moment to reconnect it. And in the meantime, I think I'm getting some spurious transmissions through the repeater, or through the air, anyway. So, sorry for the interruption. The last station I saw here was W4LKS. I don't know, had you finished what you were saying, Randy, or did you get cut off in the middle?
No, I don't think I got cut off. It must have been on your end. Nope, yeah, I just said make sure your phone is not trying to do 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi only, because Raspberry Pi can't do that. And a good idea would be to run a program called Acrylic Wi-Fi on your Windows laptop, and it'll tell you what band and what frequency, what channel. It gives you a whole view of all of the Wi-Fis in your area, so you might be able to get some clues out of there. Anyway, back to Wayne, W4LKS.
Okay, is that acrylic, like the plastic?
Yes, and again, just Google for acrylic Wi-Fi. It's the first one it'll hit. I believe it's a common spelling, yes.
Okay, thanks for the suggestion, Randy. So, I think I have caught up. If I've missed anybody, please come forward now, and then I will open for new questions and comments.
W7VFQ comment.
KG9, Hotel Yankee X-Ray. Go ahead. Something odd is happening here, HYX. First of all, would you give me a handle so that I can call you something besides Hey You? Did you say Jim, Juliet, India, Mike? Okay, Jim. Well, something very strange is happening here. Very quickly, let me just say W4LKS. Can you hear Jim? Is he going out over the reflector?
No, sir, we cannot. You are talking to a ghost. It's W4LKS. And Jim, WA7VFQ, was also trying to give a comment to this last discussion as well.
Yeah, and Wayne, I agree with what Randy just said as well, KC9SIO. Because I'm hearing nothing from the station you're talking to, and I'm directly on the reflector.
Okay, and let me just ask WA7VFQ to have a little patience. I will return to him momentarily. And back to KD7HYX, Jim. You are not showing up on the repeater's log file. And the only way that I can imagine that happening is if you are in simplex mode. And I'm, maybe you're somewhere close to me and I'm hearing you direct over the air and you're not going through the repeater. So let me just ask real quick. I think you're in Newham. Am I correct at that? And have you had some assistance in setting up your D-Star radio? Okay, I don't want to blow you off, but nobody else can hear you, and we're kind of putting the net on hold while I'm talking to you. So if you stick around after the net, I think we might be able to provide you some help. Let me just ask real quick, if K9QZI is still monitoring, can you hear HYX? Okay, you guys doubled there. Milt, can you hear him at all?
Okay, I thought you turned it over to me. Sorry about that. I can hear him, obviously, because he's on our repeater and so am I. But he is not going out on the gateway. I've checked on the computer here, and he's not going out on the gateway, which means he probably doesn't have the radio program with a G. And if he can stay around after the net, we can work with him. Wayne, go ahead.
Okay, so Jim, KD9HYX, please just hang around a while. Hope you're not really sleepy. After the net, we will do what we can to get you fixed up there. And to the rest of the net, well, let me just give Jim a chance to say, acknowledge that he received. Okay, thank you to everyone on the net for your forbearance. These things happen, and this is all part of getting new people into the hobby. So this is a positive event, I think. So let me look back here and see if I've got anything queued up here. I think I'm up to date. So if you have a question or an announcement, and I think we're probably pretty close to the end of that after going 70 minutes on the net here already. Come now with your call sign and wait for acknowledgement.
KCYQL, recheck.
Okay, we have a recheck from KC8 to YQL. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know, Wayne, and everybody else that may or may not be interested. If you got any DMR equipment, the Papa system in California just kicked their net off about 11 minutes ago. We are over on the California statewide talk group 3106. And for the gentlemen that don't have the G and repeater 2, very, 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 very simple. When he hears us talking, have him to hit the RX/CS button. RX/CS button. Receive call sign. What that'll do is capture my call right now if he does it while I'm talking. Put it in his UR call field, so he needs to go right back in and put CQ in there. But what it will do is put repeater 1 and repeater 2 in there. So there you go. There's a quickie for him. Anybody don't have it set up for the repeater usage, while somebody's currently talking on that repeater, push the RX/CS button, and then after that transmission quits, go in the menu and put CQ back in the UR call field, and you are good to go, sir. And I'm sorry I didn't catch his name. I know you mentioned it several times. I'm over here listening to the Papa system. KCYQL, back to you, Wayne and Milt. I'll see you in a few weeks at the fairgrounds if you're still listening, Milt. Back over to you, Wayne, KCYQL.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Do we have any more questions or announcements for tonight's net before we move along to the check-in phase? Okay, here's the fun part of the net, I guess. This is where you get to just check in and give your name and location and maybe tell us what kind of D-Star equipment you have, what sort of Raspberry Pi setup you have. It's time to just chat. So I'll start taking just so-so check-ins. Wow, I think maybe everybody's just kind of tired. The net's kind of run 45 minutes, and maybe we're ready to move along. So, let me give one more try there. Does anybody just want to check in, talk about their setup real quick, and move along? Or shall I just wrap up the net and come back here next Monday?
KK4 CB, huh? Kilo Golf 5, Echo Lima, no traffic.
That always works. Threaten to shut the net down, and they come crowding out of the ocean there or something. I'm losing the right metaphor for that. So let me finish writing down these call signs here, so that they don't scroll off the screen before I get to them. So let's see. I see W6AAX. I see KK4CDI and KG5EEL. So W6AAXL.
Well, good evening. This is Al, W6AAX in Temecula, California. And now you want to shut the net down. It's just starting to get interesting. A lot of interesting stuff. Always learn something by listening to this net for sure. And that's a great thing. Anyway, that's what the hobby's all about. Well, I'm just checking in tonight, and actually I'm using a new DVAP. I got a new 440 DVAP. I was using a 2-meter DVAP for many, many years, and I decided to retire it. This one is just absolutely rock solid, so I've just become a staple in my D-Star system here. So anyway, thank you for doing the net, and I'll turn it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Al. Next we have KK4 CBI. Go ahead.
This is KK4 CBI, Danny, down in West Tennessee, and just happened across your net. Just got a new DV3K dongle hooked up and wanted to give it a try.
Okay, real quick, Danny, what part of Western Tennessee are you in? I used to live in Memphis when I was a kid.
Roger that. I am just outside of Jackson, Tennessee, if you remember where that's at. Little town called Bells.
Okay, another place that I lived is Waverly in Humphreys County. Is that close to Jackson?
Waverly is about halfway between Jackson and Nashville. Jackson's about 70 miles northeast of Memphis on Interstate 40.
Okay, Danny. Well, nice talking to you. Next we have, I think that's Kilo Golf 5. Oh my gosh, I need to really improve my handwriting here. Kilo Golf 5, Echo Lima. KG5, EEL, go ahead.
KG5EEL.
KG5, EEL. I saw you tee up, but I did not hear any audio. Okay, maybe he's having some issue there, so we'll come back in a moment. Do we have any more check-ins?
Kilo Golf 5, Echo Lima here, and I tried to key up, but I was doubling with someone else. So anyway, I didn't really have much traffic for the net, but I wanted to thank you for hosting it. Very informative. Back to you, KG5E, I'll got your net control.
Well, thanks for checking in. Would you like to give us your handle and your location?
Yes, my name is Charles. I'm here in Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm just which is North Texas, and the weather is beautiful, and it's a wonderful evening we're having out here tonight. I just wanted to tell you that this is a very informative net, and thanks for having it. So back to you.
Okay, thanks for the kind words, Charles. It's always good to hear. So, do we have any more check-ins tonight?
Good evening, Wayne. This is Bob, W6EJX, Whiskey 6 Charlie Juliet X-Ray.
Okay, I have a couple of call signs there. Whiskey 6, Charlie, Juliet X-Ray, and Kilo Charlie 5, Alpha Lima Hotel. So, W6 CJX. I think it's Bob. Go ahead.
Good evening, Wayne, and everybody on the net tonight. Bob, W6CJX out in Camarillo, California. Just enjoying the net and thought I'd jump in here at the end and say hi and hope everyone has a great week. And the weather out here has been very nice here, all over. I go all over, but Camarillo's been pretty nice this week. So anyway, that's all I have. Just wanted to say hi, check in, give you guys a number, and say thanks for doing the net. It's 7-3 from W6PJX, Bob and Camarillo. Back to that.
Thank you, Bob. Next we have Kilo Charlie 5, Alpha Lima Hotel.
Good evening there, Wayne. KC5ALH, Paul, Big Spring, Texas. I'm coming to you tonight off of Kenwood 74. I still have the Pi 2 with a DV Megaboard D-Star Commander, so it works quite well. And I also have a Shark RF open spot and DV4 Mini. It just kind of depends on, who I've got dialed up for what channel is what I use, but been enjoying all the different modes to connect. They all specialize in their own way. Anyway, just checking in to say hello, and been listening to the net since the beginning. Thanks a lot. KC5ALH.
Okay, Paul, thanks for checking in. Sounds like you've got quite a zoo there. I'm still taking social check-ins. If you'd like to join the net tonight before we close it out, please call now.
VHVA said, hey, Brian.
K7MTD.
You know, I don't think I've mentioned it lately, but it's probably good to repeat it occasionally. But what I do here as net control, because I am one of the admins of our T-Star repeater, I have access to the Linux computer that acts as the gateway for the repeater. And that means I can log in and I can look at the log of the D+ log that shows all of the traffic. So I can see pretty much, the kind of information you might see on the front of your radio, but I see it on my screen. I see, like 24 lines of it at a time. I'm not limited to just what the radio shows. So when I open the floor for check-ins, I'm watching this log file and I'm seeing the call signs that show up and making a note of them on paper, because once they scroll off the screen, they're invisible. I need to kind of fix that program so that I can scroll back. But so I can take 3, 4, maybe even 5 call signs at a time, and copy them from the screen to paper, and then pick them up one by one on the air. So probably a long explanation for something that nobody was really interested in knowing, but I just wanted to let you have a little peek over my shoulder while I'm running the net here. So we have a couple of call signs here: Victor Alpha 3, Alpha Zulu Alpha, and Kilo 7, Mike Tango Delta. So we'll start with VA3, Daisy A. I think that's Brian.
Net control, that's correct. This is Brian. I'm in Mississauga, Canada, which is just outside of Toronto. And I was just giving you a social check-in. I've been listening along, so I've been doing a couple other things. And tonight I'm on my Windows 7 machine. I got a DVAP on the Windows 7 machine, but sometimes I've got it plugged into a Raspberry Pi. And it works very, very well on the Raspberry Pi as well.
I'm doing a bit of experimenting with the Pi, just in configuration and that sort of stuff. But quite happy with it, and I actually use the Pi to do other things too. I kind of use it like a portable computer, if it's possible. I cruise the web with it, and even done a little bit of editing. But it's quite enjoyable, and just thought I'd give you a check-in. VHE AZA over to Net Control.
Okay, thank you, Brian. And, well, I think you know that we do this every Monday night at 9 p.m. Central Time. I think that's 0200 UTC. So, yeah, nice to hear from you. Thank you for checking in, and hope we hear from you again. Let's see, my other station here is K7MTD. Dave, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Dave in Missoula, Montana, and I just wanted to give you a one for the count. ICOM ID 51, Raspberry Pi, DB Mega, D-Star Commander. That's all I got, K7MTD. Good evening.
AF5J8.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Let me see here. I think we might have gotten another station in there. I'm looking through my paper log here, looking for the name here, and oh, there we go. Well, I don't have a name. Alpha Foxtrot 5, Juliet Hotel. I never did catch your handle there. Go ahead.
This is Alpha Foxtrot 5, Juliet Hotel, Robert in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm using a Raspberry Pi 2 with an EVAP dongle running D-Star Commander. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Robert. And let me see. Well, I don't know if there's anybody else who checked in without giving a handle. If they want to come back, recheck, and let me know their handle and their location. That's also a thing to do if you want. So we're taking social check-ins now. Let us know, who you are, where you're at, what kind of D-Star stuff you have, what kind of Raspberry Pi stuff you have. Well, not just Raspberry Pi, but microcomputer stuff. We're coming close to the end of the net here, coming up on 90 minutes, which is kind of long for this net. Not to hurry you or anything, but come now if you would like to check in. Give your call sign and wait for acknowledgement.
W87 to VFQ, Jim.
KI7JD, Martin.
WD9GYM, Marty.
KC9SIO.
Okay, I think I have about 4 call signs there. Let me run down the list here. I have KI7 Juliet Delta, Martin in Washington. Oh, no, Martin Union, Washington. That's not a handle, that's a location. I see rechecks from WA7VFQ and WD9GYM and from KC9SIO. So let's go back here. I think the first one was actually WA7VFQ. Jim, go ahead.
Good evening. I just wanted to do a formal hello. This is Jim. I'm from the town of Palouse, Washington, 2 miles Idaho border, 60 miles south of Spokane. I'm on a Kenwood TH D74A into a Raspberry Pi 2 with DB Mega board, running D-Star Commander and out to the Ethernets. I'm the third Monday night of the month Net Control, and thank you very much for your job tonight. Hope everybody has a good week, and that's all I got. Take care. Good night. W7VFQ clear.
Okay, Okay, fine business, Jim. Thank you for clarifying and expanding on your information there. And yeah, with this net has a different NC every week, so if you're a newcomer, you might not know that. But all you guys who have been hanging out here for a long time, you've already caught on to that. I'm the fourth Monday of the month. Let's see. Also, I think there was a recheck from WD9GYM. Go ahead.
Yes, this is WD9GYM, Marty. I'm in Skokie, Illinois, which is adjacent to Chicago, and I'm using the with Raspberry Pi 3 running DV4 Mini, which I will be using for travel to Xenia, and I also have an open spot time to my network, and really enjoying this Pi 3 setup with the touchscreen, 7-inch touchscreen on it, and a little bamboo type mechanism that mounts all around it, so it's a pretty neat outfit. So back to you, Net Control, and thanks for running the net tonight, 73.
Okay, Marty. Well, thank you for checking in and for the extra information there. Let's see. I see Kilo India 7 Juliet Delta.
Yeah, Kilo India 7 Juliet Delta, Ellis Martin, located in Union, Washington, about 20 miles north of the capital city of Olympia. Using an ID51A with the Raspberry Pi 2B and the DV Mega and the D-Star Commander 2.01, I believe it is. It's running flawlessly. So, very good net tonight, Wayne. Good information, and welcome back to Jim there, back in from his trip. That's all I got here. TI7G back in it.
Okay, thank you, Martin. Right, so I'm looking at my log file here, and it says user message, parenthesis, Martin Union, comma, WA dot. And so when I looked at that, I wasn't sure. It looked like it's saying there's a town called Martin Union in Washington. But that tripped me up a little bit there. So, okay, gotcha now. Martin is your name, and Union, Washington is your location. Got it. Next we have KC9 SIO.
Good evening, Wayne, and everyone on the Raspberry Pi D-Star Net tonight. KC9 SIO Steve, your net control for the second Monday of the month. Normally, I had to take it off a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, normally I'm your net control for the second Monday of the month. And a lot of good information got passed around tonight. That's good. It's real good. Anyway, but I've been listening in the whole time, so yep, I've been here in case you know what has broken loose on your end in one form or another, Wayne. I know that usually doesn't happen to you, but if it does happen, I'm here, just as I am with Connie on the International D-Star Net, which of course is Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Central Time on Reflector 1 Charlie. And if there ever is a problem with Reflector 1 Charlie, like we almost had last night, then that will be all on Reflector 2 Charlie, just for the record. And let's see here. Not much else, Wayne. Like I said, net's been running pretty smoothly tonight, so anyway, I'll just turn it back over to you. Everybody have a great week, and I'll catch all of you next week. If I don't catch any of you anytime sooner, though, I'm sure I'll catch some of you sooner. AV9FJ in the Raspberry Pi D-Star Net from KC9SIO at 73 all the way around.
Okay, thank you, Steve. So I think we're pretty close to the end of the net here, so let me call for final call, last call for check-ins for tonight's T-Star Raspberry Pi Net.
KG7ODD, Dean.
Okay, nothing heard, so that wraps it up. Let me find my place in the script here. To find out more about this net, check the Facebook page. And I'm not a Facebook guy, so I take this on faith. At www.facebook.com/groups/dstar.pi or the webpage at va7ref.info. That's Victor Alpha 7 Romeo Echo Foxtrot.info. Your participation in this net makes amateur radio a more valuable resource in time of need. I am now returning reflector 38 Charlie to normal use. Please allow a 30-second or so pause to allow DVAPs and repeaters to disconnect before you engage in normal repeater or reflector traffic. This is AB9FJ out. See you in another month.